Hi y'all, it's Rachel. Hi Nellie. We're gonna do another yoga video today. And today we are gonna be standing on one foot a bit. So if you would feel more comfortable moving to a wall and getting some support from a wall, probably not a window, you might wanna rearrange yourself in space. I'm also gonna be having us use a block today. You don't have to use a block. I'll have alternatives if you don't have a block. What we're going to be doing with the block, potentially, is standing on it. So if you have something low and solid you could stand on. I would not recommend a book because they kind of slide between the covers and the pages, and it's better to just keep both feet on the floor rather than to fall, right? So if you want to have a block available, or something like a low step stool. And then we'll come to a standing position on our mat, and we're going to do our centering and standing. You'll notice I place my feet hip width apart for this, and if possible, have my feet pointing forward. I like to close my eyes. If that's not comfortable for you, just let your eyes become soft and look at something that's not moving. And we're just going to notice our body for a few moments. How do you feel standing here? A lot of times people feel a lot of swaying. And so if you're having trouble feeling really rooted to the ground, think about broadening across the balls of the feet and pushing down actively across the balls of the feet and through the heels, while you lift up through your front and inner thighs strongly. And on that strong pedestal, you can let your shoulders relax, your neck relax, your jaw relax. Begin to deepen your breathing. And just check in with your body. Notice what's going on for you today. Making a resolution to protect any injuries or sore spots and to take care of yourself. And also to be aware of any strength or openness and give yourself credit for what you are doing with your practice. If you'd like to take any time to form a dedication or an intention for our practice, you may do so. Good. And if your eyes are closed, let's open them up. We're going to continue standing in Tadasana, and we're just going to take a chair pose just to warm our thighs up a little bit. So bending your knees, you might have heard my knees went crack. Bending your knees, bringing your hips back. And you'll notice my hips are really coming back, so I can still see my toes if I brought my head down. I'm dropping my shoulders away from my ears. I'm breathing into the back of my chest. Good, taking a breath or two. And then I'm going to bend forward over my bent legs. Hands don't have to come to the floor. And I'm going to straighten my legs a little bit. You don't have to straighten them all the way. I'm pushing into the floor with my feet, lifting up with my inner thighs, letting my head and neck hang. Whew. I realize I'm a little sniffy because I just went jogging and I'm kind of allergy-ish, so please excuse that. You can't catch anything over the video. And then bend your knees. And come back up to standing. Okay, and we're going to come back to our Tadasana. We're going to ground really strongly through our right leg. You could have your hands on your hips, at your heart, or by your sides, whatever is most comfortable for you. I personally like hands on hips, but it's not better. It's just what I enjoy. So grounding through your right foot, I'm going to work with my breath. And as I exhale, I'm lifting my left foot up. And as I inhale, I put it down. And you'll notice I shifted over to my right a little bit. I'm trying to do that as little as possible. It will happen, but I'm trying not to do a great big lean. So just working with your own breath, exhaling that left leg up, inhale it down. And just see how this feels. I'm trying not to lift my left hip. That's why I like doing it with my hands on my hips. It keeps me from cocking that hip up. Well, maybe. I'll see on the video. I think it keeps me from cocking my hip up. And again, I'm really using my breath here. I'm exhaling and inhaling. Because it doesn't have to be a fast action. Good. Now I'm going to ground my left foot on the floor. Exhale. Exhale the leg up. Inhale it down. And again, I'm noticing the shifting of the weight. And I'm kind of playing with it. There's some inevitable weight shifting. Good. Just another breath or two. Just noticing how that feels. Good. And then coming back to Tadasana. Now we're back in Tadasana. And we're going to add something to that routine we just did. We're going to keep our right leg on the ground. And we're going to lift the left leg up. And this is completely optional. Remember, you can be at a wall if you would like to. But I'm going to exhale the leg up. Inhale the leg out. Exhale the leg back. Inhale the leg down. And I'm just working with my left leg right now. And I'm really taking my time. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. And you could do this at a different pace than I am. And just notice, what is this standing leg having to do to give you support? It's easy to get caught up in the stars and glitter and glamour of this active leg. But think about the leg that's on the ground. Good. Come back to center. Now we're going to root down with that left leg. And now the right leg gets some time. And again, the breathing is exhale up, inhale out, exhale in, inhale down. Good, and again, noticing the work of your standing leg here. Good, and coming back to Tadasana. Okay. Now we're going to have a chance to use the block. If you don't have a block or something to stand on, just do the actions that we are doing with both feet on the floor. Those of us who have a block will place a block, and again, if you don't like doing this because it's too hard or makes you feel unsafe, just do the same actions with your feet on the floor. If you have a block, we'll stand on the block with the right foot, and we'll bring our left foot into Tadasana. And that's pretty tricky to find where Tadasana is. Good. Making sure your feet are roughly even. And now I'm going to let my left leg come down just a little lower, but I'm going to keep my hips as even as possible just to stretch out that inner thigh. And I'm just going to see if I can safely, keeping my torso relatively still, move that left leg back and forth a little bit. Oh, yeah, that's fun. And then I'm going to come back to my Tadasana. And again, you can do this with both feet on the floor. I'm having my feet parallel like I was on the floor. And then I'm just going to do the same thing. Exhale up that leg. Inhale it down. And just do this a few times. Good. Just see how this feels. Good. If you want to add, I call this in my classes, I normally call that little extension my Rockettes kick. When my daughter was little, she wanted to be a Rockette, so they're a big part of our life. If you've ever fantasized about being a Rockette, you can add the kick, and if you're saying, that's never been part of my dream world, just lift the leg up and down. Whatever you like, it's your practice. Now let's all put that left foot back down on the floor, stand on both feet. Whew. I'm feeling alive. Let's give that a try on the second side. So again, you don't have to use a block. If you are, put the block beneath your left foot. First thing we'll do is try and come to a Tadasana position. Good. And now again. Oh, I'm gonna let that leg hang down a little lower, so I'm stretching through the inner thigh. I'm trying to keep my hips parallel. Sorry, I almost forgot something. And then if you're on the block, just swing that leg back and forth a few times. Good. Come back to center, hold the feet parallel. And again, if you'd like to, just exhaling that right leg up, inhaling it down. Seeing how that feels. Remember, you can definitely be doing this holding onto a wall. The challenge is wherever it is for you. I've been doing this for 25 years, so this is where the challenge is for me. Challenge for you might be one hand on the wall. Oh, see? There, I got all show-offy, and that's what happened. But the challenge for people who have been practicing less time, or maybe have an inner ear condition or something, might be with your hand on the wall. It's where you're feeling challenged that the work happens. It doesn't mean you have to get to any particular point. And then put that foot on the ground. Come back to Tadasana and just take a moment. See how that felt. Good job. Okay, we're going to take another chair pose. So with your feet hip width apart, hopefully feeling some action right here in the outer hips. These are called your gluteus medius muscles. They're often kind of given short shrift compared to the big guys back here, the maximus. But the gluteus medius are important stabilization muscles. So if you can feel these guys getting a little lively, great. And then bend your knees, shift the buttocks back, coming again into your chair pose. Making any movements to make yourself feel more comfortable, more balanced. And then once again, we're going to come forward. Straighten the legs any amount, doesn't have to be all the way. Head is still down. Deep breath. Bend your knees and come on up. Okay, we're going to do one more of these standing in place balance exercises. This next one I think will be easiest to see from the side. So I'm going to start with my hands on my hips. I could have my right hand on a wall if I liked. I'm going to lift my left knee up like I'm marching. And then I'm going to bring my left thigh as close to parallel to my right as possible. It might not come all the way down. And I'm being careful of my knee and my back. I wouldn't come down any further than felt okay on my knee and my back. And then I lift the leg and I lengthen. And you could use either part of the breath. I tend to like to exhale when I lift the leg. Inhale when I bring it down. But you might like the opposite breathing pattern, and it doesn't matter. Good. I'm just feeling what this is like. Again, you can have your hand on something. Noticing the work of the leg. And then put that left foot down. Second side. Thighs are parallel. Lifting up the right thigh. Lowering the right thigh to be parallel with the left. And I am keeping my knees hip width apart, so I'm not bringing them horizontally towards each other. I'm not letting my knee go valgus here. I'm trying. Again, the video will maybe show me if I'm a little more crooked than I thought. But I'm really trying to keep my thigh bone moving in a line. Not going out to the side, not going in, not getting crooked, just moving up and down. Good. Beautiful. And next time that leg comes out, put the foot down. Good job. And let's come on down to child's pose for a couple of breaths. Good. If child's pose isn't comfortable, you could take any other resting pose. You could lie on your back with your knees into your chest. You could sit upright. I use child poses a lot to hydrate. Alrighty. Now let's come back up to all fours. If your back is feeling tender, if your back is feeling tender, notice that. If your knees are feeling tender, pad beneath the knees. And if your wrists are feeling tender, you could either come onto your forearms or stay on your knuckles. But just notice those main areas, your wrists, your back, and your knees here. We're now going to go ahead and come into a table position. So I'm not hammocking, letting my ribs come towards the floor. I'm keeping my ribs into the body, drawing my front ribs slightly down towards my hips. My back is long. And then I'm going to pick up my right leg. If I'd like to, I could pick up my left arm. I'm stretching my right heel back and my left fingertips forward. Good. Now I'm going to bring my left hand down, and if I'd like to, I could bend my right knee. If this hurts the knee or the back, don't do it. I'm going to flex my foot and just stretch up a few times, pulse up a few times through that right heel. And I noticed I was lifting my neck, so I'm going to come to neutral with my neck. And then I'm going to come back to center with my right leg, and then I'm going to stretch back with my right leg, and then I'm going to put my right knee on the floor. Okay, now I'm going to check in with my back again. Is it nice and long? And then I'm going to lengthen back with my left leg at hip height. Lengthen forward with my right arm. See how that feels. I'm going to try and be aware of the back of my neck. Good. And I'm going to put my right hand down, and if I want to, I can bend my left knee. And again, I could pulse up a little bit with that left foot if it doesn't hurt my back or my knee. I'm going to be very mindful. Good. And I'm coming back to center. Stretch that left leg back. Put that left knee on the floor. Tuck your toes under. And let's lengthen back to downward facing dog. If dog pose is not part of your practice, you could stay on all fours and do cat-cow postures, arching and lengthening with the breath, exhaling as you arch, inhaling as you lengthen. If you are doing dog pose, your knees could be bent, your heels could be off the floor, your forearms could be on the floor. Good. Breathing deeply. Okay, and let's bring our knees down to the floor again. Okay, from here, tuck your toes under if this is comfortable. Come back to sitting on your heels. If this is uncomfortable, take more of your weight further forward, putting your hands onto something. If it's comfortable, sitting on your heels, you can begin to come into a balancing squat. My heels are off the floor. I'm on the balls of my feet. I could have my hands on a block or on the floor, or I could balance in any position with the arms. Good. Beautiful work. Put your hands down on the floor. Drop your heels and slowly straighten the legs into a forward bend. Knees can be bent, hands could be on a block. Bend your knees and come on up. Now let's rejoin in standing Tadasana. We're going to do 2 more standing balance things and then a few things on the floor, just to give you an idea of where we're going. So if you're getting tired, only 2 more. The next position we're going to work on is tree pose. And as always, you're welcome to practice this against a wall. We're going to stand on our right foot. You could put your left foot on the floor and have the ball of the left foot on the floor, heel resting on the inner thigh. You could have the foot on the inner calf. You could have the foot on the inner ankle, I said thigh, or you could have the foot on the inner thigh. So ankle, calf, or thigh are all fine. Try not to have it right on that knee joint, and try and press with the thigh or calf into the foot as much as you're pressing with the foot into the leg. Good, let yourself just take a moment to get your tree pose. Any arm position you like is fine. Good. caught your balance, if it would be good for you to do so, we can begin to do some movement with the arm and the breath, just to see, can we hold the stability in our pose while we're moving with other parts of our body? So my legs are going to be stable, and I'm going to inhale my arms up, exhale my arms out. And I'm just going to do this a few times. And you might see me wobbling, because it can be hard to move with part of your body and keep that focus on the stability with the rest of your mind and body. Some challenge. And again, I'm inhaling when I'm going up, exhaling when I'm going out. And after your next round, just bring your hands back to your heart. Whew, bring that left leg down. Hello, Tadasana. I'm going to do the same thing on the second side. Grounding through my left foot, I could put my right foot at the ankle. I know that's an ankle. With the ball of the right foot on the floor. I could have my right foot on the calf, or I could have my right foot up on the thigh. Good. And again, I've got to remind myself, push back with that thigh into the foot. And you could bring your hands into any position and just give yourself a few breaths. Catch your pose, feel your center. Good. And this time we're going to move the arms in the other way. Inhale out to the side and up. Exhale down. And following your own rhythm of your breathing. Inhaling, big arms. Exhaling, coming down with the arms. And noticing the stability you can have in your legs. Good, just one more time. Good, next time your hands come down, bring your foot down. Take a moment here in Tadasana. Excellent job. We just have one more standing balance pose to do. And the last standing balance pose we're going to do today is my personal favorite, which is Ardha Chandrasana. So we're going to come into it from triangle pose. If you would prefer to not do a balance pose, if you're newer to yoga, you can just do the triangle pose and not do the part where we stand on one foot. So I'll be talking us all through this. We're going to start with our feet about maybe 3 to 4 feet apart. Right foot turned out, arch of the right foot is lined up with, or heel of the right foot is lined up with the arch of the left foot. Arms are out to either side. Now I'm going to strongly shift my hips to the left. So I'm really bringing that right leg underneath me. And right here I'm in a triangle pose. And this is where, if I was a beginner, I'd stay. So if you feel like this is enough for you, stay here. If you want to do the full half moon pose, you'll bend that right knee, step the left foot forward, bring the right hand to the floor or block, and then I'm going to lift up my left leg as I straighten my right leg. And I'm going to press back strongly with that left heel. And I'm going to take a few deep breaths. And remember, you can do this in triangle if you prefer. And I shouldn't be feeling any pain in my knees or my back. And then I'm going to slowly, gently bend that right knee. I'm stretching back with my left leg. I come back to a full triangle. And come on up. Brilliant. Second side. And I know I didn't see how you did and I said brilliant. The attempt is brilliant. Doesn't matter what it looks like. You exerted effort and intention, and that is great. Turning your left foot out and the right foot in. Again, left heel is lined up with the arch of the right foot. Shift the hips over to the right. I'm really getting the top of that left thigh bone underneath me. This feels good. Then if you'd like to, again, if you're new to yoga, this is a great pose. Stay here. Only if you want a little more balance goofiness, should you bend that left knee, just kind of step that right leg in, bring the left hand to the block or floor, and as I straighten my left leg, I lift my right leg, I'm flexing that right foot, I'm stretching back super strongly with that right heel. Taking a couple of deep breaths. Good. Lovely. Remember, it doesn't matter if you're wobbling, if you fall out of the pose, as long as you're not hurt. If you've exerted the effort and the focus, you will reap the benefits. It's not that the pose gives you the benefits, it's that the effort and the focus you exert give you the benefits. Okay, then bending that left knee, bring that right foot back down. Oh, glorious. Come back up. Okay, we step our feet together and we get to come to the floor. We are going to do a couple of things on the floor. And the first thing we're going to do is come to lying on our right side, I guess. And we're going to do exactly what we did at the beginning of our practice, only lying down. So I've got my right heel, my right hip, and again, I'm not rolling back onto my buttock. I'm on the greater trochanter, this bony prominence on the outside of my right thigh, and my right armpit, and they're all in alignment. I'm not rolling back onto my right glute. And then I'm going to lift my left foot up. So my left foot is hip width away from my right foot. And I could have my left hand on the floor or up towards the ceiling, either way. And I'm going to begin doing the exhale lift, inhale lower, that we did at the beginning of class. Actually, I'm going a little fast here. And if you want a little more balance challenge, try lifting that left hand up towards the ceiling. I'm finding this incredibly difficult with my core to keep myself from flopping around. Just another couple of breaths. Ah, lovely work. And then putting the left hand down, lower the left leg. We'll roll on to our second side. And again, I'm lying on my left side, armpit, greater trochanter hip, heel in line. I have my right hand on the floor in front of me. I'm going to lift my right foot up to be hip width away from my left. And I'm going to exhale that knee up, inhale it down. And don't go too fast like I'm tending to today. And if you'd like to, you could lift that right arm up. Whoa, it's a whole new world on this side. Good, just noticing. What is your body saying to you today? My body's saying this is a lot harder on this side. Good. Just one or two more rounds. Okay, I'm going to bring that right hand down. And we're going to do two more things on all fours, cool down and Shavasana, just so you know what's coming. So for this next one, you might want to have a block or just something to put your hand on. It's not necessary. I'm on all fours with my wrists beneath my shoulders. And since I do have a block, I'm going to put the block beneath my left hand. You don't have to have a block. Now we're going to lift up the left leg and stretch the left leg straight back. We're going to do a variation of Ardha Chandrasana, that standing balance pose we just did, only on our right knee instead of on our right foot. We're going to move from our right hip, and I'm moving my right pelvis around my right femur head to open up my hips. And then if I wanted to, I could keep that left hand on the block or on the floor. I could bring the hand to the hip. Whoa, I could kind of go crazy and stretch that arm up towards the ceiling. Good. And then I'm going to move from, again, that right hip to bring myself back to neutral. So I'm rotating that pelvis around the leg and then bringing the knee down to the floor. Let's give that a try on the second side, huh? So again, I have my knees beneath my hips, my hands are on the floor, or my right hand could be on a block. And again, you can do this. I'll show on this side without the block, just so you have a visual. Stretching back with that right leg. I'm now going to move from my left hip, and I'm rotating that left pelvic bone around the left thigh bone to open my legs up. My right toes are now pointing towards the camera. I could have my right hand on the hip or up towards the ceiling. Good. Okay, and then I'm going to slowly, moving from my left hip again, rotate back to neutral and put all fours back on the ground. And I'm just going to sit on my heels and check in with my wrists. We've got one more thing from all fours. If this is bothering your wrists, I would suggest taking a break for this next one, doing a long child's pose, or coming onto your back. And when we're on one side, stretching your right leg up towards the ceiling. When we're on the other side, stretch your left leg up to the ceiling. That's just something to do if your wrists are done. If your wrists are saying, oh, we can take one more, we're going to do tiger pose. So we'll begin lengthening the spine, drawing the shoulder blades back, feeling our nice full back here, not hanging down. And I'm going to lift up with my left leg, bend my left knee. You have a number of options here. You could stay here. Number one. Number two, lift the right hand off the ground and stretch it out to the side. Option three, bend the right elbow, put the right hand on the back of the sacrum. Option four, grab the left foot with the right hand, coming into full tiger. Good, keep breathing, draw the shoulder blades back away from your ears, and wherever you are, take a deep breath and see if you can just feel your body. Notice the breath, notice the sensation of the pose. Okay, and put that hand and foot down wherever you were. Nice. Now we're gonna possibly lift the right leg up, bend the right knee. Option one. Option two, stretch that left arm out to the side. Option three, bend that left arm, bring the back of the left hand to the sacrum. Option four, catch that right foot with the left hand. Whatever feels good for you. And again, just holding and breathing and noticing the effect of the pose on your body. And come on down. Beautiful work. Coming onto your back, hug your knees into your chest. Whew. And you can move your knees in a circle, first in one direction. And then in an opposite direction. Good. And putting your feet on the floor, I'm going to lead us into a reclining twist here. I'm going to lead us into my favorite reclining twist. If you have another favorite reclining twist you would rather do here, go for it. What I'm going to do is, keeping my feet on the floor, I'm going to slightly shift my hips to the right. Then I'm going to roll over onto my left hip, bringing my legs over to the left, and stretch my right arm out to the side. I like having my knees together and my legs bent. Some people like having one leg straight, both legs straight. Some people like having their knees crossed. Really, the twist is for you. Do what feels good, right? Oh, lovely. And let's come back to center. Re-ackle your hips. Ackle. I don't even know what that means, ackle, but it's a phrase. Okay. And we'll do it on the second side. Maybe it's getting to be time for my Shavasana. Scooch those hips over to the left. Roll onto the right hip. Ooh, crack. Stretch out that left arm. And remember, you can do any twist you like. Oh. And take a couple of breaths here. Come back up to center. Lying on your back. We're going to do one more, just one more pose on our back, and then I'm going to ask you to turn off the video so that you can do a 5 to 10 minute Shavasana. And I know Shavasana is not, true story, Shavasana is not my favorite pose. It's really hard for me to to quiet the mind, and it's really frustrating to watch it spin when I can't quiet it. But it is a crucial pose. And what I like to tell my regular students is it's kind of like making a stew or a curry. You get all these ingredients in there, but you need to let the flavors simmer for a while before it really tastes good, right? You need to let everything combine and give it some time to the flavors to marry. Shavasana is kind of like that for our body, I think. We're lying down quietly and letting all the different energies we've released kind of come to a harmonious acquaintanceship in our body during Shavasana. So just putting that out there if you are someone who struggles with Shavasana too. So we're going to do one last pose and then Shavasana. And I'm going to suggest Happy Baby pose because I love the Happy Baby pose. As you can see, my feet are towards the ceiling, knees are towards the armpits. I'm holding my feet. Some people hold their calves or their thighs. If this is not a comfortable pose for you, you might want to try an alternative pose. Some people like Supta Baddha Konasana. Some people like to stretch one leg up and then the other. You can do whatever feels good for you, but just take a couple of breaths here, doing something that's pretty relaxing for our low back. And then just begin to bring your attention towards your breathing here. And if it's possible, see if you can make your exhalation just a little bit longer than your inhalation. And then releasing your feet. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing. Please give yourself a good Shavasana.